Shabbos Daf Lamed Beis, the Mishnah tells us that there are three causes that women die during childbirth because they aren't careful: benida, chala, and adlakas haner. Rabbi Yitzchak explains, since a woman wasn't careful with the inner body, so she gets punished with something from her inner body, childbirth. Glila explains, because Baruch Hu gave humans a minimum of a revi'as dam, and he says you have to be careful with that revi'as dam. Chala, because Baruch Hu calls it rashis arisoi seichem, he calls us rashis, so we have to be careful with chala. And ner, the neshama of a person is considered a candle, and we have to be careful with that candle, hadlakas haner. The Gemara gives us 5 mishalim, 5 parables. There are sayings that people say when a bull falls to the ground, go ahead and sharpen your knife quickly. In other words, when a person is in a situation of danger, it's more likely that additional danger will occur to that person. So a woman who's giving birth, it's a time of danger for her. Second thing people say, if you're going to beat your slave, you wait until it accumulates and then you just let it all out. So too by a woman, we're punishing her for the chet of chava. So once you're punishing, you add to it. A third saying is, let the drunk fall on his own. The fourth saying is, if you have a shepherd who's crippled and can't catch its goat, he waits by the doorway to the barn and then he catches the goat. And finally, if we're in a situation where things are going well and people are giving out food, everybody's friends. But when the situation is not that good, there's not a lot of food going around, people aren't friends, the situation isn't good for a woman, she's giving birth, she's in pain, then things go wrong. But how do we check men? We check men when they are in a situation of danger, when they go on a bridge, on a rickety bridge, or anything similar to that. The Gemara tells us that Rav wouldn't go on a boat that had a guy on it, because perhaps that guy deserves death, and the boat will go down and he'll die because of the guy. Shmuel was the exact opposite. He made sure there was a guy on the boat because HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't punish two nations at the same time. Rabbi Yanai would check the boat to see that there are holes. He didn't want to be Samich Hananes, because if you are Samich Hananes, there's a concept called Menakim Schuyosav. HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses your schusim to pay for those nisim, and that's not a good thing. Reb Zera wouldn't walk below palm trees during high winds for fear that the branches would fall on him. Rabbi Yitzchak says, and this is a big yesod in life, don't wait until the tzara happens, don't wait until a person is sick, daven that a person should not become sick, because once they become sick, it's harder for the refuah to come, then you have to use a lot of schusim. As it says in the pasuk, Yipal hanoifel mimenu, the person himself, mimenu, you need his schusim. Another drasha the Gemara gives us from that pasuk, Yipal hanoifel, the person who falls had already fallen. In other words, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows from day one, from Sheshis Yemei Bereshis, exactly what's going to happen. And the only difference is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides who is going to cause the harm. In other words, the person who causes the death is a bad guy. The person who causes good is a good guy. But death is going to happen. If a person knows he's about to die, he should say vidui. Just like a person who's taken out to death because he's over on Isra that there's a chi of misa of bezdin, he says vidui. So to a person who knows he's going to die. If a person goes into a place where there's danger, like a marketplace, there are a lot of fights, so that's similar. He has to imagine to himself that's as if a cop, a police officer grabbed him. Once he feels a headache coming, that's as if there are already handcuffs, he's in chains. And once he has to lay down in bed, he's that sick that he has to go into bed, that's bad news. That's as if he's going to be judged in a life and death matter. And if he has a really good lawyer, meaning he has good schusim, he'll be saved. If a person has 999 malachim that's saying bad about him, but there's one malach, echad mini elef, 1 out of 1,000, he'll be saved. The Gemara says, there's another malach that says 1 out of 1,000,000. In other words, 1 out of the 1,000 malachim, 999 reasons in that one malach are against him, and he has one reason for him, that's 1 in 1,000,000, that will be matzal him. Rabbi Elazar says that women die when they are younger. Rav Acha says because they do laundry on Shabbos, they wash the dirty diapers on Shabbos. And some say because they are not careful and they use a lashon of bezayin, instead of saying aron kodesh, they say closet. As Rabbi Shmuel would say, Amaratzim die because they called aron kodesh arno, which is a closet, and they'll call a shul a beis am, just a regular folk house. Rabbi Yossi says there are 3 bedikos, meaning there are 3 checkpoints that a woman goes through to see if she's chayiv misa, nida, chala, hadlokas haner. And some say there are 3 devek, there are 3 glues. In other words, there are 3 causes to make her die earlier, chala, nida, and hadlokas haner. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says that hilchos hegdesh and meiser, trumas and meisros are the gufei Torah. That is the center of the Torah, and we give a certain nemanos, we believe, Amaretz, that he took Trumas HaMaisros Midaraisa, although Midarabanan there's a concept called Mai, we don't trust him. And we trust Amaretz that he wasn't Magdish this object, and therefore you could use that object. Rabbi Nosson says that because of the Aveira of not fulfilling a neder, a monetary obligation, let's say tzedakah or any neder, a person's wife will die. Rebbe says his own children will die. Now, Rebbe's Rebbe said that his own children will die. Rebbe himself said B'tul Torah, but once he heard that his Rebbe said children, he took it back. The machlokes Rebbe Chia bar Abba Rebbe Yossi, if a person's children die because a person is not careful in mezuzah, or it's because he's not careful in B'tul Torah, and the machlokes is based on the question: could you learn a pasuk, 1 pasuk back, or even 2 pasukim back? Because the pasuk says L'man yirbu yimeichem. If you want to live longer, what? The pasuk right before is Uchsaftam, mezuzahs. It's talking about a mezuzah. 2 psukim before that is talking L'matim Moshe B'neichem, to teach Torah to your children. You go all the way back and say even Torah and mezuzah, or just mezuzah. The machlokes Rameir and Yehuda, if it's mezuzah or tzitzis that causes a child to die, Rish Lakish says that someone who's careful with the mitzvah tzitzis, Lasad Lave, will have 2,800 slaves. It's 10 per nation. There's 70 nations on each corner. That's 700 times 4 corners. Rabbi Nechemi says, because of sinas chinam, there's a midah keneged midah. A person will fight with his wife. He'll lose his children. His wife will miscarry. And a person who is not careful with challah won't see a bracha with his oil and his wine, and he'll plant, and other people will eat from it. And a person who's not careful with truma meiser, there won't be any rain, and he won't have any profit, and he'll run after parnasa, and he won't achieve it. And Rabbi Shmuel says, if you're not careful in the summer, in other words, in Trumas HaMaisros, you'll be punished in the winter. But if a person does Trumas HaMaisros, he'll have a lot of bracha, like the pasuk says, "V'arikoisi lachem bracha ad b'lidai," and we learn, "Ad sheyivlu," until your lips are numb from saying "dai." Have a wonderful day.